السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم ألهمنا مراشد أمورنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا. اللهم احفظنا من جميع البلاء والفتن. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من عذاب جهنم ونعوذ بك من عذاب القبر ونعوذ بك من فتنة المحيا والممات ونعوذ بك من فتنة المسيح الدجال ونعوذ بك من المأثم والمغرم. In the beginning of the Quran Kareem, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala describing the Quran, where He said, Alif Lam Mim Zalikal Kitabu La Rayba Fi Hudal Lil Muttaqin, that this kitab will do everything for you, this Quran. But on condition, Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghaib, on condition that you become of that group that believes in the unseen. Many a time in the past, whenever bayans would take place, whether it was Jamaat bayans, whether we would meet, whether tashkil was made, it was said, go out in the path of Allah. And we would say, why? He said, go learn iman. And that word sounds very simple, like go learn iman. I learned iman when I was a child in the bed. My father said to me, read your kalima, La ilaha illallah, iman. So what is this learning iman? Go and learn iman. And Allah Tabarak Ta'ala said, this Quran will do everything for you. But you will have to have iman in the unseen. In the era we're living today, this is so important because the apparent, what is called maddiyat, materialism, it has come so strong in front of us that even if you close your eyes, it knocks you and says, hey, look at me. Whether it is the woman of the world, there was a time where if a girl was not in niqab and parda, even then, if you wanted to see her, you had to walk a very hard path. You had to make sure her father doesn't catch you, the mother doesn't catch you. People of the past, your fathers, your grandfathers also had romance like you. But how you do it, they never do it like that. They climbed a tree maybe, and they started throwing pebbles on the window. So she came, she opened the window, he said, that was all. He couldn't get close. Sometimes his leg broke when he fell down from the tree again. He never had much. That girl couldn't come knocking at him. She couldn't come and say, look at me, see me. She would never ever say, you want me. The world never saw that before. But we entered the era where maddiyat, materialism came right into our face. That the last place where it could enter before, where the mother and father said, he's now at home, he's safe. Now they can't even say that anymore. They can't even say he's under the blanket. In the madrasa, sometimes we tell someone at night, just walk around the rooms. So if you see anyone whose blanket is looking high, it means he's not sleeping. Everything is happening under the blanket. Now how do you go and pull someone's blanket out? All the private work is happening there. But even under his own blanket anymore. When maddiyat was going to come right into our face, materialism, at that time, what was going to make man say no? Had it been far, it was easy. You say, look at that girl on the other side of the water. She looks nice, isn't it? She looks nice, but who's going to go so far? I can't even swim. And you walk away. But the day that girl would swim towards you, and it would become hard to turn away because then someone would bang you and say, look. At that time, what was going to stop man looking? At the time when haram would come looking for you, filth would come looking for you. You never had to go looking for the drug. To turn away from the drug became hard. What the world started saying, peer pressure. Peer pressure meant what? That Shaytan will target you with so much of force that now to say no becomes difficult. Now you don't have to go to the club came to you. The girl came to you, the money came to you, the drug came to you, liquor came to you, everything came to you. At that time, what was going to make you stop and say no? الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. If you could be blessed with that eye, that when that girl would come to you, beyond the girl you could see something else. Beyond the money you could see something else. What was that something else? It is only me and you who were blessed with this. I was with one non-Muslim, and it just happened someone had passed away, so we saw that body being taken to be buried. So I said to him that the most you can tell me about this man is whatever happened on top of the world. Do you know what's going to happen now that he goes inside? A Christian also says, I know about paradise and hell. But what happens in the grave, he doesn't know. I said, only I can tell you. يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Because I have been given that amount of knowledge that I can see in the grave. You also have been given. That is the difference between a man who got a Nabi and a man who hasn't got. Nabawun means he gave us knowledge of things that the rest of the world can't see. The only thing is we have to believe it now. So much we have to believe it when we see him being put in the grave. We can either see a paradise opening up or Jahannam coming up. When you look at that grave, you must either see scorpions walking in and say, we're ready for the match. Or you see angels coming in and says, well done. That man who cannot see the world of the grave will never be able to say that woman of the streets, I don't want you. Only that man will turn his face away from a prostitute, who beyond the prostitute, he sees the words of Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who said, I was taken for Mi'raj, I was taken to the heavens, what I saw was unique. He says, then I was taken to Jahannam. In Jahannam I saw a huge cauldron. It was a fire, but on the fire, it wasn't meat that was being fried. It was the flesh of man. He said, I saw that fire. In the fire were naked men and naked women. That very girl that you run and you die for. I want to see more, I want to see more. She showed everything already, there's nothing to see. I say to some people who are hooked on porn, there's nothing left. You saw so much that practically 90% of what you saw don't exist in the real world. You saw it all. There's nothing left to see. So on that day also you'll see it all. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, I saw that man surrounded by naked women. But the only thing at that time was that he wasn't on heat. The heat was under him. When the heat comes under you, you forget all your heat. He says the fire of Jahannam was burning them. So hot the fire was. No matter how hot your braai is tonight, you'll never see the meat rising with the heat. He says, I saw the fire lifting their bodies up. Lifting. Naked all over. Not one man was looking at one woman. He said, I saw them coming to the top of the cauldron. Burning, burning, burning. They're reaching the top. As they're coming to the top, couple of them thought, perhaps when we reach the top, burn, 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 we'll just push. As they came close to the top, he said, I saw the fire then just cool. And as it cooled, all of them went falling back to the bottom. And then again the fire started burning. He said, I asked Jibreel alayhi salam, what is this? He said, this is the people of zina. This is the people of adultery. This is the people who look at porn. This is the people who sleep every night with a different girl. What will stop a man when a girl comes in front? He will say, beyond you I see the fire burning. How that man in the fire could not get thrill for you. I can't get a thrill for you because I see the fire. This is iman bil ghayb. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, Kana min al jinn, fafasaka an amri rabbi. The whole world doesn't know what something called Shaytan means. They don't know what the devil means. In the Illuminati, they might call him God. In Freemasons, they might call him the Grand Master. In their raves, they might even call him a DJ, whatever it means. They don't know what devil is. The most they will say, I saw something. We're the only people who were told there is something called Iblis. There is something called an army of Shayateen. But there's a thing called knowing and there's a thing called believing. Allah Tabaraka says, Kana min al-jinn. That you know your Iblis. فَفَسَقَ عَنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. So evil, so terrible. That when Allah Tabaraka told him do something, he said, no way. I won't do it. He was the one who said, I will go to one man and I will pull him into the fire. أَفَتَتَّخِذُونَهُ وَذُرِّيَّتَهُ أَوْلِيَاءَ مِن دُونِي. Look at this verse of Quran. Only we got this verse. Allah Tabaraka says, have you now decided to make that jinn your friend? There's a very few people in the world who will go up to Iblis and the world of Shayateen. They don't look nice. So you won't go up to them and say, you know what, I want to be your friend. What you got for me? If Iblis directly takes out pretty girls, you'll say, hey, I don't want it. If he takes out the drug, you'll say, I don't want it. So he won't take it out directly, he'll take it out indirectly. But you the only group in the world who knows that there is Shaytan. I can see him as his eyes blink. He's not blinking because he's high on some drug. He's blinking with jealousy that I want you also to burn in the fire. But to get you in the fire, I need you to walk. In this world of what is called torture, the worst torture is where the enemy, you have this normally in this world of love and hatred and jealousy. One woman is very jealous with the other woman because that woman maybe took away her husband, whatever happened. So to take revenge, they call it sweet revenge. That woman will say, I want to become her friend. And she'll go out of her way to smile, to dress up, to give presents, until she becomes close to the child of that woman. And thereafter, one is you just cut the hand of the child. So the child screams, but then finished. But one is you play a game of suffering. That you make the child start trusting the one who hates the child the most. So that individual then starts taking the child for exercises. As the child is exercising, every day the child is getting bruised. But because the child trusts the individual, it's called sweet revenge. In the world today, what we see is sweet revenge. That Shaytan made himself our friend. So that young child, when he took the drug, he only could not see that Shaytan was handing it to him. Had he understood this woman hates my mother, he would have run, mommy, she's a devil, she's a witch. But that woman wasn't going to show him the witch. She was going to speak sweet. And she was going to win the child. And thereafter when the torture was going to start, it was not going to end. In the world of drugs, those that reach stage 2, where they are told by the world that there's no coming out now, we got you. Those are screaming, pull me out. But still the young child who hasn't seen that side, he's still walking. Parents will tell their child, if a stranger comes to you, don't go. The one who already went, if you could give his message, he will say, you know what they did to me after that. But the child, when someone walks up to him and says, walk with me, the child still walks. Why? Because there's a difference between knowing and there's a difference between believing. The most the mother told the child is, when a stranger comes to you, don't go. The mother forgot to say to the child, when a friend comes to you, don't go. Not a stranger. Because when Shaytan comes, he doesn't come like a stranger. He comes like a friend. That pretty girl is a friend. The lovely smile is the friend. That unique picture is a friend. Every call of Shaytan is the call of a smiling friend. But that man who got iman in the unseen, he will see that teeth is smiling, but he will see the eye burning with hatred. That man will pull back. It is this iman bil ghaib that makes man man. It is this thing that changes the world. That man who sees Jannah, إِنَّ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ مَفَازًا حَدَائِكَ وَأَعْنَابًا وَكَوَاعِبَ أَتْرَابًا. That man who sees paradise, that man who sees another woman calling him, That man turns away from this woman. That man who can hear in this world the music of paradise, he loses the thrill of this music. The man who sees the liquor of the year after, he spits at the liquor of this world. But it is only if he believes. If you have iman in the unseen, you'll become unique. A lot of people say, but I got too much desire. Allah Ta'ala takes qasam in the Quran, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا, that by the qasam of horses, amongst the Arabs, the issue of the horse was a unique thing. So the announcement was made that we're going to make war with that other tribe. Everyone jumped on their horses late at night. That horse wanted to sleep. But as soon as the master jumped on the horse woke up. As that horse started riding at night, Allah Ta'ala takes a qasam, by the qasam of the horse that gallops through the night. وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا, that, oh man, if a horse can forsake its sleep in the respect of a master who's only going to give him one apple in the morning, then we cannot understand how you cannot forsake your sleep in the love of your Allah who's going to give you everything tomorrow. By the qasam of that horse as it's riding, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا, another horse on the side will say, where are you going? It's time to party. All the horse will say, when my master said move, I move. فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا, Allah Ta'ala says, by the qasam, by the oath of that horse, that as it's riding at night and its hoof is hitting on the ground, and as it hits a rock, a spark goes out. When that spark goes out, it means the speed of the horse light at night. By the qasam of that horse which is making sparks at night, oh man, when that horse could be making sparks at night in the love of a master who's giving one apple, how is it when you were told to make sparks on the musalla, you just said, I can't do it? By the qasam of the horse. فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا, now they reach the outskirts of the town. The soldiers are taking a rest. The horses are told, just rest for a while. Normally that horse will say, hey, I rode the whole night, give me at least one night to rest now. But the horse understands I perhaps got an hour or two. Before dawn, when the call is made, I will have to run into the enemy. فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا, Allah Ta'ala says, by the qasam of the horse who attacks in the early morning, that, oh man, when that horse could be ready to sacrifice its life, its sleep, its food, its drink, not only did he run into the enemy, فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا فَأَثَرْنَ بِهِ نَقًا, when the master hit it on the side, that horse ran towards the enemy, that dust started going up. Allah Ta'ala says, by the qasam of that dust, فَوَسَطْنَ بِهِ جَمَا, and the horse ran into the enemy. When it ran into the enemy, the horse understood that when swords will be moving, they won't target my master, he is covered with steel, they'll target my body. They will target my legs, they will target my neck. At that time, the horse could have said to its master, this is your war, what I must die for it? But the horse never said it. That horse, in the hope of one apple, and in the respect of a master who could only say, as long as you're alive, I'll pet you. But when you die, I'll get another horse. In the love of such a master, the horse forgot its sleep. It forgot its food. It forgot its drink. It forgot the other pretty horses. A horse also got desire like me and you. We visited one town, the man said, come and see my Arabian horse. So the horse was like enjoying. But to see an Arabian horse is when you see it running. As it runs, its tail goes in a unique, like a Lamborghini maybe. It got a unique style, the tail, how it lifts and it points. And then how the hair moves. Arabian horse got a unique, as it's different. But how to get it to run? So he told the worker to bring a female horse. That thing was like half dead, that horse. As the female horse entered the scene, suddenly heat. That horse doesn't know why he's running after that. He's just running. In the love of that girl, our boys are the same. You give a boy a car, petrol is so expensive. But because of one girl on the street, he becomes like an Arabian horse. He puts his tail high and just drives around. Why? I'm heat. I'm a horse. I'm a horse, you a horse. I also love food, you also love food. We also love women, you also love women. We also love looking, you also love looking. Every horse saw the other horses on the side. But something made the horse who understood he got a master different from the other horse. The horse that was not wild, in the respect of his master, understood, I haven't been created to be free. I have been created to be obedient. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala, the qasam he took on the horse was on this. That, oh man, if a horse can do everything for his master, knowing that as soon as he dies, the master will bury him and say, what a faithful horse, game over. Innal insana li rabbihi lakanud. After this oath, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, oh man, do you know how ungrateful you are? That the horse just for an apple could do it all. And the master could not say anything after I'll give you. The master was ungrateful. As soon as you die, I'll get another horse. But by Allah, Allah is not ungrateful. By Allah is, oh man, if you do for me, I will sacrifice everything for you. You will not be given one apple after that, you'll get the world. But when the horse forgot his sleep for Allah, man, you can't forget your sleep. When the horse could say no for his master, you can't say no. When the horse could die for its master, you can't die. And die doesn't mean the real dying, it just means to burn. When we tell the man, just delete that number on your phone, that's all. He says like suicide, that number. That's death. The horse died. Yeah, there's no dying. We tell a girl, leave him or marry him, one of the two. Leave him or marry him. Say, I can't marry him, my father will kill me. I can't leave him, I'll die. They're not ready to die for Allah, but the father means everything because that's my master. The father will only give an apple. He means everything. He won't even give you an apple. Boys are boys. Nowadays girls are learning the tricks. In the past the boy would take pictures of his girlfriend and throughout his life he would hold a ransom with those pictures. Nowadays we are hearing the opposite. The girl is taking the picture. Because she knows you can't trust boys. So the day he gets married, the first picture is sent. That you know what he did once upon a time? She collapses marriages. They don't give the apple. When we were small, we read that story of whoever it was. The one who ate the apple and she died. The poisonous apple of the witch. That's that apple that's coming today. They put it front. That Allah is the only one who's not giving an apple. But innal insan, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, by the qasam of the horse, I can say to you, oh man, if someone is ungrateful, it is only you. وَإِنَّهُ عَلَىٰ ذَلِكَ لَشَهِيدٌ. You are so ungrateful that I don't have to bring a witness to tell you how ungrateful you are. You yourself will be the witness. You yourself ask yourself, that can I sacrifice anything for my master? And the answer will be no, I want to be a wild horse. وَإِنَّهُ عَلَىٰ ذَلِكَ لَشَهِيدٌ وَإِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيدٌ. And Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, the only thing that made you ungrateful is your love for things that are nice is severe. So you're scared, if I worship my Allah, I'll lose her. I'll lose that car. I'll lose that mansion. I'll lose it all. In the fear you're going to lose it, you behave like a horse that got no master. You just look down. But it's not that you don't know. You know, only you want to act like I don't know. So you meet a girl, as the two of you are talking, sometimes she'll tell you, hey, this is not right, isn't what we're doing. You know the Shariat better than her. So you told her, don't worry, I know Allah, He forgives everyone. He'll forgive you also. You also know it. But in the fear I'll lose what I don't want to lose, you act like you don't know it. So Allah Tabaraka says, what will make you again a faithful horse? أَفَلَا يَعْلَمُ إِذَا بُعْثِرَ مَا فِي الْقُبُورِ. It is this iman in the unseen. Allah Tabaraka says, oh man, have you forgotten what's going to happen when the man in the grave is going to be brought up again? وَحُصِّلَ مَا فِي الصُّدُورِ. And when the secrets of the inside are going to be brought on the outside. إِنَّ رَبَّهُمْ بِهِمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ لَخَبِيرٌ. That you think your Allah doesn't know what's happening. It is this iman in the year after. This iman that when I look at a grave, I see things happening. I see serpents, I see scorpions, I see snakes, I see rats. This iman, when I look up, I see paradise. Why? Because when my Nabi told me it's supposed to be, I see it. That's why he came to tell me. And with so much yakin he said to tell me that he said, I also went there, I saw it. This is iman bil ghaib. It is this iman that you go out and you say, learn iman. It is this iman when porn comes in front, you are able to say no. Why? Because as that filth came in front, something else came on front. What was that? It was an image. It was an image of the burning fire of Jahannam. It was an image of my Allah saying no. That image must come in front of us. This is iman bil ghaib. I must see it so much that I must be able to say to my young child, that stranger is the devil. The child will say, but he looks so handsome. But just because the outside looks nice, we know the inside. In South Africa, everyone knows who's taking that boy away. He's dressed so well. So me and you, what is called mature, we tell the 5-year-old, don't hold his hand. But me and you go and do the same thing after that. Just because the devil looks smart today, we go and hold his hand. But as that man takes that 5-year-old for a world of hell, the most he will take him to is one ship, and perhaps that boy will die in that ship. But when Shaytan grabs hold of your hand, you're not going to die in the ship. He's going to take you over the waters into the fire of Jahannam. Thousands have lost their iman before they left this world. Thousands. When Allah's Nabi Sallallahu said, the time will come where in the night he will be a believer, the next morning it's gone. It's happening in the thousands. Because he put his hand in the hand of someone who just looks smart. He said, let me take you to the club. Let me take you and show you another world. You don't want to enter in the world of Freemasons. Let me take you in the high clubs. You will have money in your wallet. You will have girls around you. But there's one thing that you got which the rest of the world hasn't got. You got the knowledge of the unseen. The only thing now is we need iman on the unseen. We all got that knowledge. May Allah Tabarakala bless me and bless you. That our knowledge of the unseen becomes iman on the unseen. Iman means I see it even if you can't see it. I see it even if you can't see it. I feel it even if you can't feel it. May Allah Tabarakala bless me and protect me, bless you and protect you. Protect our children, protect our wives, protect our parents. There was a time in the past man would say, oh Allah, protect my children. We reached that time where man has to say, oh Allah, protect my mother. Forget my mother. Today we reach the time where you say, protect my granny also. In the newspaper nowadays we hear of those stories where the old granny who's already in the grave, she's also doing everything. The whole world is doing. Filthy world. A very filthy world. In this world it is only iman on the unseen. The knowledge of the unseen I got and you got. If this knowledge becomes iman, the wild horse will become a unique horse. He will see his master's call. He will be able to forget his sleep. He will forget his food. He will forget his drink. And that knowledge, when it's changed to iman, it will make this horse, and that horse, such a horse, that for him to die for his Allah will become a thrill after that. There were people of the past who waited, that if I can die for my Allah, it is the greatest death. May Allah Ta'ala make me and you like that. If I have to bleed for my Allah, what lovely blood. If I have to die for my Allah, what a death. But only that man will become the horse when he puts the yaqeen of what's going to happen in his heart. May Allah Ta'ala bless us all with that yaqeen. Inshallah, a small tashkil will take place now, inshallah. Because going out in the path of Allah, call for going out of the path of Allah is only this. That change that knowledge of yours into yaqeen. That yaqeen is the only thing today that is saving people's iman.